Today's story is my version of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, but it doesn't have a little boy in it. It doesn't even have a wolf in it. No, I call this story The Cow Who Cried Moo. See, I don't know if you've ever been on a farm, but farms have all sorts of cool things on them, such as a chicken coop and cows and goats and horses, and there are dogs that go all over the place and cats that go all over the place, and some farms even have ducks. Well, this particular farm had all sorts of those animals on them. Now, what you don't know about farm animals is that farm animals are often surrounded by animals that don't actually live on the farm. And sometimes those animals like to sneak onto the farm and they like to kidnap the animals that do live on the farm. For example, foxes. That's right. Foxes love to sneak and creep onto various farms and hijack the chickens from their coop. This particular farmer, his name was Gus. Farmer Gus knew all about foxes. He knew that in the woods surrounding his farm that there lived a bunch of foxes and that they were always eyeballing his chicken coop. He knew he had to do something to protect those chickens. So he looked out across his whole farm and he found a very special cow. He had a special cow named Annabelle. Now, Annabelle was well trained in all the different kind of bovine martial arts, such as Tai Cow Do and Dung Fu and Cow Rade. She would practice every single day. Farmer Gus went up to Annabelle the cow and said, Annabelle, I've got a special job for you. Annabelle went up to Farmer Gus and said, Moo? Well, Farmer Gus gave Annabelle this here cowbell. He said, Annabelle, I want you to guard my chicken coop. And if you ever see any of them rascally foxes trying to creep across my farm to steal my chickens, you're supposed to take your hoof and bang on that cowbell, and I'll come out a running with my shotgun and get rid of them foxes, okay? Annabelle said, No. She went straight to work. Farmer Gus went back inside his house and started working on things around the home. He took care of other things around the farm, never worrying about the chickens because he knew that they were in good hooves. Well, Annabelle, she started looking. She didn't see any foxes. She looked that way, no foxes. She looked that way, no foxes. She looked that way, no foxes. She said, oh, there are going to be some foxes. I know that they're coming for these chickens, and I'm going to be ready. She waited the first day, no foxes. She waited the second day, no foxes. She waited the third day, no foxes whatsoever. Well, by the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th day, Annabelle was beginning to get a little bit bored. So she took up some other hobbies. She learned how to paint. She learned how to draw. She learned how to play pinochle with a deck of cards. She did all sorts of things, but the whole time, there were no foxes. Eventually, she got pretty bored. So she thought to herself, there's got to be some way to liven up this here job. She thought about it, and light bulb, she had an idea. She started running around the farm and banging on her cowbell saying, moo, moo, moo. Farmer Gus, he grabbed his shotgun. He came running outside his house looking around saying, darnation, where them foxes? I'm gonna shoot them with my shotgun. Fill them full of pellet, I will. He ran around the side of the house and he didn't see any foxes. Nope, instead, he saw Annabelle the cow rolling around on the grass, hooves way up in the air, laughing like only a cow can laugh. Try it with me and go, Farmer Gus, he was mad. He looked at Annabelle. He said, Annabelle, you are supposed to be guarding my chicken from them foxes. Now, when you're out here goofing around, who's watching my chickens? She said, Moo? He said, if you do this again, you gonna be in big trouble, Annabelle. You gonna be in big trouble. He said goodbye to Annabelle the cow. Annabelle got up. She was no longer bored. She had had such a great time pulling that trick on Farmer Gus, and she just went back to work. Well, a few more days passed. Still no foxes. Annabelle got pretty bored again. This time she figured she'd get the other animals into it too. So this time she went up to the horses. She went to the barn. She started going, moo, moo, and the horses got all excited. Neigh, 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 and they started running all over the place. She went over to the dogs. Moo, moo, woo, woo. The dogs started going all over the place. She went to all the other animals and whipped them into a farm frenzy. Farmer Gus came running out of his house again and said, oh, I knew it, them foxes were going to come one of these days. I'm going to get them. Good job, Annabelle. He ran outside and rounded a corner, and before he knew it, he found Annabelle and all the other animals. The other animals were running around scared, and Annabelle was lying down on the ground laughing. Nope. No, sir. Annabelle, you've done it this time. I cannot trust you to guard my chicken coop. I thought that you'd be the best one on this entire farm to do this job, but you have let me down. Yes'm, I am disappointed in you, Annabelle. He reached down, he took that cowbell and yanked it from her neck. He said, you are not worthy to wear this cowbell. I don't know what I'm going to do with you because you must not be good for nothing. He started to tear up and cry because he had loved Annabelle so much and he was so sad and disappointed in her. He went back off to his farmhouse downtrodden. The other animals just shook their heads at Annabelle. She got up. She wasn't having very much fun anymore. She went out to the pasture and just sat there under a tree thinking about all that she had done, feeling sorry for herself. Now, unbeknownst to Annabelle, was that the foxes, they were actually watching this the whole time. In fact, the entire reason the foxes had never come onto the farm to steal the chickens is because they knew that Annabelle would wallop them with a little bit of her dung foo if they did. Just her simply being there had scared off the foxes. But now, Annabelle was no longer guarding the chickens, and the foxes knew that they had their chance. So when night fell and the stars came out in the sky, the foxes knew it was time to go. They crept and they crawled and they skunked along on their bellies all through the tall grass of the pasture, all the way to the chicken coop. Well, Annabelle heard some sounds. She heard some rustling, and then she heard some chickens begin going, she knew that something was up. She went over there to the chicken coop. She spied them foxes trying to stuff chickens into little bitty sacks. She said, oh no, this isn't happening. Not on my watch. And she reached for her cow. She didn't have her cowbell. What was she going to do? She had to get Farmer Gus's attention somehow. She thought, I'll use the other animals. It's the only way. It's the only way. She went back to the horse and she said, moo, moo. And she would not stop until they got all upset and started chasing her around because they were so mad at her for waking her up. Moo, moo. She went to the goats and she said, moo, moo. And the goat said, moo, moo, moo. And started chasing her around with the horse. Moo, nay. She went to the dogs and jumped over the dog houses and woke up all the hound dogs. Nay, nay, moo, moo. She found a herd of wild cats. She found that herd of wild cats and she got them all startled and riled up to her. Before too long, Farmer Gus was just fed up with the ruckus that was going on outside. So he came outside one more time with his shotgun. But I gotta tell you, he wasn't expecting foxes. He was looking for Annabelle the cow. He came out there and he found Annabelle, and she was being chased by all of them animals around the farm. He followed her with his shotgun. He followed her. She led his eyes off to the chicken coop. And when he saw that chicken coop, he saw those foxes, and he fired that shotgun once into the air, and the foxes stood up straight. Uh-oh, we better skedaddle and get out of here. They dropped all their sacks, and the chickens jumped out of the sacks, started back on top of the foxes' heads until they left. Once everything had calmed down, all the animals and Farmer Gus surrounded Annabelle the cow. They said, thank you, Annabelle. I'm so sorry. I wasn't going to believe you that time I was coming after you. She just said, moo, 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 which translates to, I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have tricked you. I should have just done my job. Well, he forgave her, and he gave her back the cowbell. And after that, everybody in the farm lived happily ever after.
Jack and Jill went up a hill to slay a big old giant. Tumbled down and broke his crown, and now he is a-crying. Stories that pop. Stories that pop.
And as always, if you like this story and you're enjoying Stories That Pop, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and go ahead and hit that thumbs up like button as well. You know, the best thing about stories is that they are made to be shared. So please feel free to share these as well.